Hello and welcome. I just wanted to do this quick video comparing the new Fitbit Charge 2 with the Samsung Gear Fit 2. My primary goal was to find a nice fitness band that would give me some notification capabilities without going the whole way to a smartwatch, but primarily more of something that I could see my run statistics while I was actually running without having to, contort my arm in some funky position to be able to view the statistics from the Runkeeper app on my phone. So when I started to research these a little bit, I initially was looking at the Gear Fit 2 because it would allow you to take a run and pretty much leave your phone behind, because it does have built-in GPS and a built-in music player that I think has about 4 gigs of storage, a couple hundred songs you could fit on there no problem, and it can listen to it through Bluetooth headphones, which I pretty much always use anyway. So that really intrigued me. But then as I was doing some reviews, or I was reading some reviews on the Gear Fit 2, people were complaining about the band that came with the Gear Fit 2 not being a traditional watch style band and it popping off your wrists. And that's something I did not like about the previous Fitbit Force that I had a couple years ago. Had that kind of band that just popped off. And then when they came out with the Charge HR that had the traditional watch band, I switched over to that. I've been using that for about the last year and a half. So I know that this has the GPS and the built-in music player, but then I started reading some stuff on the new Charge 2 that, said you could have connected GPS, which means it connects to your phone and displays your distance and pace and, all your stats and everything on the display screen. One thing that it still can't do is it can't change your music selections, even if you're listening to music from your phone. This head doesn't have any capabilities that I've seen so far that would allow you to change your track and so on. Comparing this Charge 2 with the previous Charge HR, aside from the larger screen, and it gives you some basic text and call notifications, it really isn't much different. I was kind of disappointed. I thought it would do more with the smart features, notifications and such. It does some connected stuff with your phone, like it'll show you your call or ID and who's calling whenever you get a phone call, and it'll show you text messages, but it really limits the amount of texts that you can get as far as the characters on the text. So I think it shows about 40 characters, and then it just truncates the rest of the message, and you have to go to your phone anyway to view it. So I just want to do some quick comparisons here about what you get to see on the screens. This has the traditional Fitbit style LCD, where you have your basic conditions for the day, your time, your step count, and then you kind of cycle through things just by pounding on it. You just kind of hit it and tells you how far you've gone, your calories burned, your steps for the day. This is your activity minutes. And then this is like a move tracker where it wants you to do 250 steps per hour to be considered active. In addition to that, you got your activity tracking, you got your running, and then several other types of activities. You can kind of control this through the app to determine what shows up on here. And then you have a built-in stopwatch and your heart rate, which is with Fitbit, it's either on, off, or auto, which means when you take the wristband off, it'll sense it's not on your wrist anymore and shut off the constantly reading heart rate meter. In comparison, the Gear Fit 2 takes measurements every, 10 or 15 minutes. So if you kind of are wearing it in the dark, you can see the little light underneath come on every 10 or 15 minutes, but it's not like the Fitbit where it's on constantly. So to go a little deeper into why I like the Gear Fit 2 a lot better than the Fitbit, I'll show you some of the features that it has that the Fitbit does not. So first of all, you can see it's got a nice color AMOLED display. It's got a touch screen as opposed to just a pound screen on the Fitbit. You swipe to the right to get any notifications, and it's much more robust. You actually get notifications from pretty much any app that would send notification to your phone, and you can see it on here and clear it, or you can click on it and say you want to view it on your phone. And even with text messages, it has some kind of built-in replies that you can click on the text message and say reply, and you can say like yes, no, I'll be there soon, like a couple word automatic replies that you can do. So that's nice. To change a watch face within the Gear Fit 2, you just kind of hold on it and then slide it around to different ones. And some of them have this stylized button down here where you can go into a little more customization of what colors and things like that you want. And there is a lot of options available on the store that you can download free and or paid watch faces. This is the one that I found I like the best because it gives me my time, it gives me my steps, shows me my battery percentage down here, how far I've gone, my steps, my heartbeat, and it also has some tie-in with the current weather. Whereas where you click on the little weather thing there, and it'll connect to your phone and update the weather where you are and give you some forecast information. So that's definitely something that the Fitbit does not have. Sliding to the right, you get your step count for the day. Here's your running tracker or any other activity that you want to track. Your floor count, your heart rate sensor. And like I said, you can set this to, not bother, take it every 10 or 15 minutes, or you can actually click on it and do an instant measurement. So you can just tells you what your heart rate is at this current moment. And it does have options to add and hide different things. I pretty much have a lot of the stuff hidden because I kind of want to keep it real minimalistic. So you got your calories burned in the last 24 hours. Oh, shoot. Get back here to the end of the menu. Got your caffeine if you want to keep track of your cups of coffee or soda. It's got your kind of social stuff. If you were part of a group, it would show you where you are on a leaderboard. I haven't really found anybody that I'm friends with that also has part of the Samsung community. And then you can also do your tracking of your water intake for the day. But to get into some of the meat and potatoes, like I said, I wanted this to be able to track me while I was running and have the capabilities of playing music, not having to take my phone with me. And that's definitely where it shines in respect to the Charge 2. So to kind of do the demo here, I'm not outside. I don't have a location symbol and stuff. I just kind of want to show you the difference. So I'm going to start a running activity here on the Charge 2. You hold it in to start it. It starts tracking. You can see that it crosses that out because it doesn't have a connection to my phone right now. And then it's saying that it's doing connected GPS to the phone. So while you're running, you can tap it to get your different statistics while you're running. And then whenever you're done, you just hold it in again to stop it. So it's finished, and now it'll show you your stats from your run, and you can click through to see them. But here's the big difference, and this is kind of across the board with this device versus the Gear Fit 2, is once it's gone, it's gone. The only way to view this stuff now is on your phone. So it really is a totally connected device to your phone. So if you don't have a phone, and you don't have your phone with you all the time, it really is tough to get any statistics about, anything that you've done as far as running, steps for the day, your history, that kind of stuff. So I really was very disappointed that this was not a more robust device compared to the previous outgoing model. But it is still good for, if you're somebody that plans on keeping your phone with you all the time, and you're always going to be connected to it, then, it's probably good. It has really good battery life because it doesn't have all those constant notifications and stuff coming through. So it's doing a lot less communication with the phone than the Gear Fit would be doing. So, your battery is probably going to last. I don't like to leave my heart rate sensor on all the time. I don't really care too much about what my resting heart rate and stuff like that is. I like it pretty much to track me while I'm, physically exercising. So I kind of leave it off most of the time, and I can get, the better part of a week out of this one and the previous Charge HR that I had. During normal use of the Gear Fit, I get about 3 days if I don't do a GPS run. I actually did test it by kind of turning it into a Charge 2, where I turned off the always connected Bluetooth and pretty much just used it as a activity tracker. And if you do that, you can definitely get a week out of this device just using it to track your steps and such, without doing all of the extraneous notifications and such. But to get back to why I like it so much, you go over here to your running. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to go back and show you the more detail about your steps and stuff. So there you got your steps. If you wanted to see this, what you did over the last week or so, you just tap on it. It shows you what your average is, what your goal is. It shows you what you did, the last every day for the last couple weeks, and then your average for the week. So that's just nice to be able to see at a moment's notice while it's on your wrist, instead of having to open up the app and delve down into there. And that's pretty much for everything across the board with this device. As you can see, all of your things that you're tracking, gives you a nice summary screen, and you can actually click on it if you wanted to go into super detail. Same thing with your heart rate. Like I said, I don't do a lot of heart rate monitoring, only when I'm working out. And the nice thing about it is when you kick off a workout on this, it automatically enables the heart rate sensor. So you get that monitoring while you're exercising. But the meat and potatoes of this device, like I said, is the unconnected GPS. So I have it set for a 4-mile run. You tell it to start running, gives you a little countdown, and off you go. Same type of thing. You can kind of swipe through the different statistics that you would want to see while you're running. If you want to pause it, you can hit the button here to pause. Start it back up again. You can see your heart rate, all kinds of different great things. When you're done, you hit the pause button and finish. And it gives you your statistics. Pretty much your average speed, max heart rate, how much you were in your intensity zone. And then if you're actually running outside where it would have been able to pick up off the GPS, it will show you your route, on a map, which is awesome that something like this can do that. You go back, you can actually go in here, and you can go down here to the bottom where it says view log, and you could see all of your exercising, whether it was auto tracked, if you're just going out for a short walk or something like that. Or if you took a run, like here on October 11th, I took a 41-minute run. You can click on that, and it'll tell you pretty much everything you wanted to know about that run. And like I said, there's your map. So, it just gives you so much more detail from the device itself versus what the Charge 2 offers. To get into your music player, you can pull down from the top. Here you can tell whether you're connected to your phone via Bluetooth, which I am. You can adjust the brightness of the screen from here. And here you have your music player. Nice thing about this is you can either connect it directly to your Bluetooth headphones and play the music that you have on the Gear Fit, which it says here, music from Gear. Or if you don't want to do that and you have more music on your phone, you can kind of start playing something there and say, play from my phone. And basically this will just connect up to your phone and control whatever you're playing on your phone. And then you have, your skip buttons and stuff here. So even if you do take your phone with you, you have the option to be able to switch the tracks while you're out running. If you get a song that you don't like. Over here on the Charge 2, you can't do that. All you can do is see the statistics on what you're doing for the run. Here you can even control the volume of your output to your Bluetooth headphones. So this just gives you so much more capabilities. It's not a full-fledged smartwatch because you can't pretty much add third-party apps. You can only add what they have in the Gear Fit store that's out there. But it just gives you so much more customization. I'll go into the settings menu here real quick for this device. You can change your display and your watch faces, whether you want the device to always have the watch face on or whether you want it to go to sleep and come back. Whether you want to get notifications, your brightness, just all kinds of different customizations that you can have with this device. You could tell it whether you want it to connect to your Wi-Fi when you're home. I haven't really figured out what you would do by connecting to the Wi-Fi versus just connecting to your Bluetooth on your phone to get any kind of information. You can set your screen lock timeout, different power savings functions. You can set this so that if it gets down below a certain battery percentage, it'll automatically go into like a black and white mode and turn off any other exterior connection information. You can go in basically and do what I did there with tapping on the screen to get your more detailed information about everything. It does still have stopwatch and timer functions. You can see your activity over the last 24 hours. Has a nice feature here where, if you misplace your phone, but it's still within Bluetooth range, you can kick that off and it'll make your phone chime even if you have it on vibrate and silent, so you can, locate your phone. And then just to kind of wrap this up, like I said, when I first started looking at these devices, the big drawback that people had said about the Gear Fit 2 was they didn't like the band. However, I was able to find several generic style bands on eBay, or not eBay, but Amazon for like $10 or less that are your traditional, watch style band, and they're super comfy. They're not going to be as durable and last as long as the premium band that the Charge 2 has on it. But it's super comfy to wear. It fits good. It's nice, and you can make it loose or get it nice and snug. So, that's definitely alleviated any issues that anybody could have with, thinking that the strap is going to, come undone and fall off your wrist. Other thing I'll say about like the band swapping, I did play around with the bands, taking them on and off within the devices. With the Charge 2, you won't be able to really tell on the video, but like when you can wiggle these back and forth, and there's a fair amount of play there. So it's not like a super tight connection that these bands have to the main module there. Like I said, they're not going to come off, but the nice thing about that is that it makes the band super easy to swap in and out, like underneath here where the clasps are. They unclip and these pop off super easy. When I was switching out the original band with this replacement band on the Gear Fit 2, it was pretty tough to get it off, and then pretty tough to get these replacement bands on there. But I don't really plan on really changing it out again until I have to replace this band, maybe because it's worn down. But it's like super secure I mean, there's like no play at all on there. So that makes me feel real comfortable with, pretty much doing any activity at all with this device, and that it's not going to fall off my wrist. Obviously, you got a bigger screen on here than you have on the Charge 2, but I bought some screen protectors for on here, so that should take the brunt of any scratching and stuff. And then if it gets scratched up, I'll just change out the screen protector. So those are some of the main reasons, primarily why this does a much better job for what I was looking to use out of a sport band. I wanted something that gave me the GPS functionality, the music player, notifications without smartwatch price or size. And, it just does it a lot better and keeps me that I'm not having to look at my phone constantly for things. I also find that I miss a lot less notifications with this, because if I would have my phone in my pocket and it would be on vibrate, I wouldn't necessarily always feel the vibration of the phone in my pocket. But now I get all my notifications on here, and I always feel it vibrating on my wrist. So I don't know what all the, negative criticism of this device is on the market, but, for the price, I think it, retails for about $20 to maybe $30 more than the Charge 2. But, when you look on Amazon, you can get it for less than that. So I would recommend getting this if you want something that, does what I said it does versus, your plain Jane basic fitness tracker and the Charge 2. So thanks for watching. Take care.